Welcome to Back to School Night for this 2020-2021 academic year. A special welcome to those families who are new to St. Paul's. I am Gilbert Martinez, or Father Gil as the students call me, and I'm the pastor of the church and school of St. Paul the Apostle. I serve here with two other Paulist priests, Father Jerry Tully and Father Ryan Casey. And we are chaplains to various grades, partners with our dedicated faculty and staff. The beginning of this academic year is not like any other. We are continuing our virtual school until it is safe to come back to campus, to which we are eagerly looking forward. We know that places extra burdens on working parents, and we are doing everything possible to continually improve. You'll hear about that in a moment. We are grateful to be your partners in forming your children academically and spiritually, even at a distance. This year is also the 85th anniversary of the founding of our school. So many students and families have gone through here, in good times and in bad, and all have flourished. While we are boxed in by the pandemic and even fires around our whole state, we know that we will emerge better than before. We know that we will emerge because of our commitment to what in our Catholic faith tradition we call the common good. That is, when we care for each other, through our gestures, even the smallest, humblest ones. In some sense, God becomes visible. And in this way, with God's help, we can heal the world, our city, even ourselves. So, as we begin, even though it's unlike any other time, let's go forward with the confidence of a people who hope in a better world, a better society, and a better school. May God bless you all. It's my honor now to introduce to you our principal, Mrs. Crystal Pinkowski.
Welcome, and thank you for making the time to be with us today. I'd like to begin by saying happy 85th birthday to our wonderful school community. It was in 1935 that St. Paul's opens its school doors to welcome students to a campus that would be filled with love, learning, and laughter. That legacy experience continues today, albeit a bit differently. We are all living through a pivotal moment in history as the change we are experiencing impacts everything we do, the way we live, learn, work, and worship is all being altered. From the very beginning of the pandemic, the health and safety of our students, faculty, and staff have been our top priorities. Right behind health and safety has been the focus on delivering a quality learning experience for all of our students at every grade level. And last, but definitely not least, we cannot overlook the social and emotional supports that will probably be needed long after a reliable vaccine is created. The supportive and collective investment we have made in our school this year is crucial. A great deal of time was spent this past summer preparing for a journey that had no clear roadmap. We had no idea if our school doors would be open in August or if remote learning would continue, and if so, for how long. Not knowing what to plan for only meant that we had to work twice as hard in putting together a plan A and a plan B. And I must admit that preparing for this school year also made us realize that there will be many times this year when we will have to embrace uncertainty. The one thing the teachers and I did know for certain is that we didn't want to have any academic inconsistencies. It didn't matter if the students would be engaged in distance learning, a hybrid schedule, or full on-campus instruction. With thanks to our dedicated faculty, quality teaching would be happening. This year, the academic focus of our teachers remains on planning and delivering quality instruction and supporting their students whose needs might be greater than ever. The second stress point that weighs heavily on my mind is budget sufficiency and stability. Everything we have done and planned for has a cost. To date, we have spent a total of $687,000 in COVID-related expenses, and those expenses continue to grow. The additional staffing, all of the technology resources, the plexiglass shields, the student desks, the air ionization units, portable hand washing stations, and the hand sanitizing stations were all desperately needed. Thanks to the collective efforts of the community in previous years, we have been able to maintain some of these resources, but there is still a lot more to do, and we will be relying on our wonderful PWC board, our festival committee, and the Sister Stella Foundation, and the PWC board to assist us in achieving all of our goals. It is my pleasure to introduce our PWC president, Monique Manicumian.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 85th annual Back to School Night at St. Paul the Apostle. I can safely say that this is probably the only one that we will ever have online. I'm Monique Mamikunian, and it is my honor to be back serving as your PWC president for this extraordinarily challenging year. While times have certainly changed in the last several months, one thing that remains a constant is the school's spirit and leadership. Without a doubt, we have the most incredibly dedicated team of faculty, staff, and parents who continue to work endless hours, keeping our school and community safe, strong, and vibrant. Last year on this occasion, I spoke about community because the culture of St. Paul's is the core of who we are, and it is what sets us apart from any other school. I've been a parent here for 13 years. My oldest is now a senior at Loyola High School, my daughter is a sophomore at Marymount, and my youngest is a current 6th grader. Through all these years, I still marvel at our incredible community of families who always come together in times of both joy and hardship. Our community is our legacy, and it's vital that we nourish it even while we are distanced and apart from each other. This is a temporary situation, and one day soon we will all be back together, experiencing our amazing school and parish in person. When we do come back, there are so many different avenues to get involved in St. Paul's. But the most important is the spirit and the heart in which you interact with everyone, whether it is in person, amongst each other, or even via a screen. A big part of what has shaped my experience at St. Paul's is being a part of our incredible PWC board. There are currently 26 people in various leadership positions on the board. I want to send a special thank you to those moms and dads who have committed themselves both last year and this year to being a part of it. I know that I'm lucky because I could not have asked for a more amazing group of people who I both admire and respect, and who I also call my close friends. The level of involvement in all aspects of our community would astound you. We provide operational and organizational support for the school on many fronts, but our primary mission is to foster support and community. I would encourage you to become a part of it in whatever way that you can, whether we are online or back in person. To be part of this group will enhance your experience here more than almost anything else. The fall is typically a very busy time for us. We would normally be planning new parent welcomes, community coffees, outreach programs, and of course our much talked about SPA parties. While we aren't in person, we continue to think of ways that will maintain our traditions when we are back on campus. Yet even before we come back to school, we can all participate in our first ever virtual fest, which you'll hear about more tonight. Tonight, later, you will be meeting with your children's teachers who will discuss the academic curriculum for the year. Thank you to Mrs. Pinkowski, Mrs. BJ, Vanessa Reyes-Smith, and the entire faculty and staff for the many hours that have gone into planning this school year. Whether online or in person, you can be sure that they have given their all, preparing our children for whatever may come. We are truly blessed to have such a dedicated team teaching and guiding our children. Normally after the classroom presentations, the PWC would invite everyone to reception right here in this courtyard where we share food, wine, and our hopes for the new year. In lieu of that, I hope that you go to the festival Instagram page and find a great tropical drink recipe to craft and enjoy after the teacher presentations. Now, it is my absolute honor and pleasure to introduce Yvonne Skillings, our festival director this year, who is bringing our Ohana together in a totally new and exciting way. Yvonne completely reimagined and reinvented one of our most cherished traditions at St. Paul, the Fall Festival. And it was no small task. She and her festival team have been meeting weekly ever since April, trying to provide the best experience possible for our families and kids while also meeting the financial needs of the school. I hope that you give the festival your full support because Yvonne and her team have truly given countless hours, sleepless nights, and the best of themselves for our Ohana. I hope you have a wonderful evening tonight. Thank you. And if you ever have any questions, please come to the PWC and we can help you out. Thank you.
Thank you, Monique, and aloha St. Paul families. My name is Yvonne Skillings, and I'm mom to Liam in 7th grade and Alexis in 5th. I'm also this year's festival chairperson. This year's festival theme is Ohana, which in Hawaiian means family. I felt that this theme would be suitable this year, given that with so much uncertainty, the one thing that we will always have is our family, and not just the ones in our living rooms today, but also our St. Paul family, which includes our teachers, administrators, our alumni, and our parish. Last year's festival, Together We Rock, under the leadership of Sarah Hartzog, raised close to $500,000 for our school. With those funds, we've been able to maintain low tuition, support the operating cost of our school, and earlier this year created additional classroom space for our resource teachers. In March of this year, I had only recently agreed to support the festival and had rounded out my committee of parent volunteers when COVID-19 took hold of the United States. It took months for us to figure out what our next steps would be for the festival. Just as our kids have had to adapt, so has our festival. This year has challenged us to closely evaluate the meaning and purpose of our festival. Our festival means community, and it is a huge part of our identity. The purpose has always been to support our school, and this year, it must also cover the costs that the school has incurred due to this pandemic. Our next step was to reimagine the festival. The creativity and resourcefulness have been astounding. From humanity and food booth auction baskets, to touchless signups for the casserole booth, and even to the virtual talent show. Each one of these items reimagined has created just one more reason for our amazing community to come together. Even during the tough times that we have had this year, my heart has been warmed and my spirits lifted by how enthusiastically our families have supported this new version of festival. Now in September, no one could have imagined that our kids would still be distance learning and we would be doing a back-to-school night via Zoom. Our school has done everything possible to prepare and ready themselves for distance learning. We are experiencing much of what was put in place already with our new lower grade teachers and our additional teaching assistants. Hopefully soon, our kids will be able to resume in-person classes and they will be able to return to a school with improved health and safety measures already put in place. These are not pet projects and they would not be possible without your support of our festival. And next, on to the festival's main event. On Saturday night, October 10th at 6 p.m., our virtual fest. Let's come together as a community to participate in the first ever and hopefully last virtual live auction and Fund a Need. Over the course of the night, let us entertain you. Instead of the blacktop, the location of this event will be spagives.com. To join the event, all you need to do is register at SpaGives. If you have already registered, then you're ready. Come back and join us at SpaGives on October 10th and visit the Virtual Fest page. Remember, we are not asking you to dedicate 3 shifts over the course of one weekend. Just join us for a couple of hours. We can't wait to see you there. Have a great week, everyone. And next, I'd like to introduce you to Chris Greenspan.
Thank you, Yvonne. Good evening, and thank you for allowing me to take a few moments to discuss the importance of the Sister Stella Foundation. My name is Christopher Greenspan. I have 3 children at St. Paul's, and I have been part of this community for over 9 years. I'm proud to be serving as the president of the Sister Stella Foundation for this school year. The foundation is an independent, not-for-profit, parent-run volunteer organization created almost 40 years ago by Sister Stella. For those of you who don't know Sister, she was the principal of St. Paul's for an incredible 47 years. So much of this incredible community we enjoy today was as a result of her vision. In her wisdom, Sister created the foundation for the sole purpose of providing additional educational resources that were outside of the school's budget. Traditionally, the foundation focuses on STEAM, cultural enrichment, technology, health and wellness, and community outreach enhancements for our children. Funds raised by the foundation are spent directly on each and every child at school. From DK through 8th grade, every child benefits from the foundation efforts. While we support more programs than I can list here this evening, a few that we've recently supported and have been a part of are things such as the 5th, 6th, and 7th overnight field trips, the 8th grade Washington, D.C. trip, the recent installation of touchless water bottle filling stations and drinking fountains on campus. They'll be here when we all return. Live off-campus theater for our lower grades, multiple on and off-campus cultural enrichment activities for both parents and students, digital citizenship, training and education for parents and children, laptops, iPads for teachers, students, and classrooms, and access to the LDS field that provides parking for our faculty and athletic fields for our children. It goes without saying that the start of this school year is different. The needs of our children are different. The needs of the school are different. While the Foundation Board is excited to continue the support for our normal and traditional programs, this year we need to do more. Since the start of the pandemic, our board has been closely working with the school administration to understand the new needs and resources necessary to safely educate our children, both at home and at school when they return. As I'm sure you can imagine, those needs are extensive, expensive, and as Crystal mentioned, were completely without anticipation. I'm very proud to announce the Sister Stella Foundation recently pledged $215,000 to help cover the expense of numerous COVID-related items deemed necessary by our administration. Without the incredible generosity of our school families, this never would have happened. We want to help even more, and in fact, we need to. Last year, over 50% of school families contributed to the foundation. Our goal is 100% participation, and this year that goal takes on even more significance. The foundation and PWC are diligently working to ensure our school can thrive during these challenging times, and we can't do without your generosity. In late fall, Foundation board members will be reaching out to every school family to discuss our mission and fundraising efforts. With your help, we can turn this unique year into a tremendous success. Thank you for your time, and please welcome Mike Ness, our current school board president, who has a few messages about their mission this year. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Michael Ness, and this year I'm the president of the school board, and I just want to take a sec and tell you a little bit about what we do. Our board acts as an advisory team to our school principal, Ms. Pinkowski. And each month, our 9 members, 2 alternates, and 7 ex officio members sit down together and we take a comprehensive look at our school. And to understand the full picture, we hear reports from our pastor, our principal, the PWC, the foundation, the finance council, and the budget committee. And we get to see all the moving parts all at once. And we see everything from the Archdiocese directives to parish priorities to new academic initiatives and student programs, faculty and staff training, capital improvements to the campus, fundraising progress, and all the parent volunteer efforts we're all a part of. We help follow our students and our families from the admissions process to academic assessments and parent surveys, to extracurricular enhancements, to high school acceptances, and to alumni outreach and follow-up. And we also do our own work and reporting on strategic planning, marketing and public relations, school safety, and school-church connections. And we do all of this so that our principal has a well-informed sounding board with clear insight on what the school is doing well, where it can improve, and how to think through the options so that St. Paul's can continue in its successful mission for decades and generations to come. Our meetings are open to all, and our nominating process for any vacant board positions begins in the spring. So please feel free to reach out to me or any other board member for any more information you'd like. I'm very proud of all the input our board has contributed in this past year, and I know I speak for the board when I say how grateful we all are to the entire administration and faculty and staff for the tremendous amount of effort and planning that has gone into making sure that St. Paul's continues to succeed at this present moment and well into the future. I thank each and every one of you, and I hope you have a good night.
In closing, I would just like to say that in spite of everything that is happening in the world now, St. Paul the Apostle is still a very vibrant faith community. Communication and teamwork are very important to me. The ongoing collaboration with the parish leadership, the school administration, the school board, and the PWC board has served to increase our connections to one another. Maintaining relationships this year goes way beyond academic benefits and carries over to the overall well-being of all of our students. I want every parent to feel that you are more than just passive participants watching us through a screen. Get involved in whatever way is meaningful to you. Volunteer to help with the festival. Attend Mass here in the beautiful courtyard. Send a friendly email to the teacher every now and then. It all matters. Everyone here knows that devices alone will not educate our students. It takes quality instruction, competent teachers, and a positive partnership with school families. At St. Paul's, we are blessed beyond measure with all three. I wish all of our families peace and blessings this school year. At this time, I would like to invite all of our families to please prepare to log in at 7:30 to the grade level teachers Zoom session so that you can participate in back to school night with the teachers. Thank you.